How is it that something you love so much can cause you such incredible amounts of frustration? One moment you are playing with a smile on your face, and then the next you want to throw your equipment across the field. Why is it that sports can be so frustrating? And even more importantly, how can you as an athlete deal with the frustrations that you're going to feel? Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach, and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. As a mental performance coach, dealing with frustrations is something I work on a lot with athletes, because you and I both know that frustrations are going to happen, and it's just the nature of sports. And so the most important thing is learning how to deal with these frustrations as an athlete, and specifically to do so in a more positive and productive way. Now I want you to think about a time that you got really upset during a game. What was going on? Was it after a mistake? This is one of the most common triggers that leads to athletes getting frustrated. Mainly because you are not out there with the goal of messing up. Probably quite the opposite. As a competitor, you may even have the goal of playing perfectly, or at the very least, playing your best. And making a mistake does not exactly equal perfection. So what happens? Well, you get mad at yourself. Maybe this involves cursing yourself under your breath, thinking negative thoughts, or even kicking the dirt or yelling. Another common trigger for frustration in sports is going to be a bad call. When an official makes a bad call that you think is either stupid or ends up hurting your team, this can quickly lead you to growing angry and getting upset over the decision. So when we examine the two examples I just outlined, it seems pretty clear that there is a trigger that leads to an emotion. That is what causes frustrations in sports. But there is one missing link that truly explains why you may be getting so upset and angry during a game. And that's the beliefs that you hold. There is a trigger, such as a mistake or a bad call, and this trigger ignites a belief. It is then the athlete's internal response to the belief that leads to their emotional reaction. So, getting frustrated, getting mad. For example, let's say you are a wide receiver and you just dropped a pass. What might be your belief at that moment? You may begin to think that you can't catch and that you're not good enough, or that the quarterback isn't going to throw you the ball anymore. Now, when you hold on to those types of negative beliefs, it then makes sense why you would respond in a negative way. You're going to be frustrated at yourself because of the beliefs that you hold. In contrast, what if the belief that you had after you dropped the pass was that you truly are a great receiver and that you'll get another opportunity later in the game? How frustrated do you think you'd be then? Maybe still a little frustrated because it's not exactly fun to drop a pass, but you won't lose your composure and get overly upset and frustrated, which only is going to hurt you moving forward. So we see that it's the belief you hold as an athlete stemming from the trigger that truly causes you to feel frustrated during a game. And so what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that if we want to deal with frustrations better in sports, we need to work on changing our beliefs. Now, it's not easy to handle frustrations since they involve a strong emotional reaction that you have during games. Plus, the beliefs that I just described may not even be known to you. But with persistence and diligent effort, you can change your beliefs and learn how to manage frustrations in the moment. Now, if you do, this is going to help you be a more composed and consistent player. Now, there are a few steps that you can take, but the first one is going to be to identify the beliefs that are the true cause for the frustration that you feel. To change beliefs, we first must understand what beliefs we hold. So what we're going to do is figure out what beliefs are the main driving force behind you getting frustrated during a game. Now, to do so, I want you to make a list of all the main triggers that are causing you to feel frustrated or to get upset. Now, go through each situation and ask yourself, what is the belief that I hold that is causing me to get frustrated? I'll give you an example that kind of relates to myself. I would get very upset after getting out while hitting. The belief I held was that I wasn't a good hitter and that other people thought I was a bad hitter. So go through and identify the beliefs that you hold in relation to each of the triggers that you wrote down. Now, step 2 is where you are going to reframe the beliefs. Now that you have your beliefs identified, it's time to change them. Beliefs are formed through repetitive thought. So if you think something enough, it's going to transform into a belief. Now, to change a belief, what we need to do is take a similar approach. I want you to go through your list of triggers and beliefs and reframe each of the beliefs into a more positive and productive thought. Going off the example that I gave about myself, instead of thinking I can't hit, I could reframe that to, I know I'm a great hitter and I'll get it next time. So for yourself, go through and reframe each belief. Now that you have the beliefs reframed, it's all about repetition. Each day, reflect on your list and practice in your head reframing the old negative belief to the new positive belief. Then, as you get comfortable with that, your job is to apply the new belief whenever you are in a frustrating situation. Let's say that you just made a mistake. Instead of allowing yourself to get really upset, you must begin thinking your new reframing statement. Now, step 3 is going to be changing how you see yourself as a player. Because not only do you need to change the beliefs you hold in relation to the trigger, but you also need to change the belief that you have about yourself and your ability to handle frustrating situations during games. Right now, if you continue to see yourself as a player who gets really upset after every mistake and allows frustrations to consume you, then that's what you're going to be. Your job is to change that self-image. A great exercise for this is to outline how you want to react following a mistake, a bad call, or any other situation that typically causes you to get frustrated. To help, here are a few questions to answer. What do I want to think? How do I want to feel? What would other people see when they look at me? How do I want to hold my body? Now, once you have all this outlined, the next step is to begin to alter your self-image. Now, this happens through a combination of visualization and then also real-life experience. What you can do to begin with is visualize yourself responding differently to mistakes. See yourself acting how you want to act. Then, when you are in a triggering situation again and you do respond better, you need to really reinforce that after the game and go over how you responded differently and how happy you are with the way that you responded. There are many opportunities for you to get frustrated during a game, but that doesn't mean that you should allow yourself to get too upset or lose composure. When that happens, you will likely continue to play worse, only leading to further and further frustrations. When you become frustrated, whether it's after a mistake, a bad call, or anything else, it is the belief that you hold in that moment that is then leading to your emotional reaction. So the goal is to change that belief. If you can change the belief, you can change how you respond and not allow yourself to feel so frustrated and allow those frustrations to take over during the game. So the goal is to change that belief. Because if you can change the belief, then you can change how you respond and not allow your frustrations to take over during a game. If you have any questions about this video or any other sports psychology topic, please leave them in the comments below. If you're interested in one-on-one mental performance coaching or any of the mental training courses that we have to offer, go ahead and click the links that I put in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.